we need to make sure that we require that they turn those documents over to us. And if they don't, anything as it relates to the planes that are falling out of the sky, we need some real transparency. And we need some, because this administration is truly trying to kill us, it feels like.
They really are. They want us dumbed down and dead. Hey, everybody. This is Dean FM, Dean Fraser Milford, here for your creature comfort. And today, I wanted to do another reaction video. This was going to be to another Jasmine Crockett on the note of championing that black femininity. Another person I want to talk about coming up is Ayanna Pressley. She's another person in Congress who is an African-American woman. We are rooting for everybody in Congress who's on the left, first of all, but we are definitely on my channel specifically. We want to emphasize the importance of black female figures and black feminine queer figures in society. And let's get right into it. Straight from her channel. It's called Big Tent, Big Stakes, Representative Jasmine Crockett on Power, Policy, and Pushing Back. We got the 3 P's up there. I don't know if I'm doing this. This calls dirty or actually help. I'm here with good intentions. I love black feminine people in my life. They've raised me. I wouldn't be here without many black women. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not afraid to say it anymore. I think the fact that this whole entire election, in my opinion, was definitely given an extra Trump nudge because of the black female factor. Really disgusting, and we should never forget.
Crockett, welcome.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Good to have you here in person. Welcome to the beat. We've seen you out there
bring back George,
pushing harder than some Democrats. What do you see in this mobilization right now? And does the elite or leadership wing of your party in Washington get it yet?
Listen, I got to say thank you to the people, right? Because this is a grassroots movement and the people are saying we are tired. And, you know, whether or not we get it, I think that our solutions look a little different, right? Like there are those within the party that are saying things like, well, we did not give them the middle class agenda. We somehow left the middle class. But I'm like, we never left the middle class, right? We know that this administration, the previous administration, was trying to help out those that were struggling under the weight of student loan debt and saying if we can help them out, then this means that they can go and create generational wealth and go buy homes. Like they had real solutions. The child tax credit, where you were getting up to $300 per child to help you out because child care is high, and all those things. When we look at some of the legislation that was thousands of pages long, such as the Chips and Science Act, states like Ohio were able to get a chips manufacturing facility that Samsung was bringing in, which meant jobs, which meant manufacturing, and so many other states were able to benefit. But did we communicate it?
Yeah.
Not really. Did people really understand what was happening? Not per se, right? And so, you know, everybody has different solutions. So some people want to dig in and say, let's get to the policy, right? But what good is policy if the people don't understand or know that that is what you are going to enact? Or when it comes down to it, we are such a big tent party that we have certain people that say, well, never mind, I'm not going to push hard for those reforms, say by the time we get to the Senate and we have to deal with the filibuster.
Kamala Harris spoke out. She's been laying pretty low, but she spoke out about some of this tension within the Democratic Party and what you do, and named some names, including yours. Let's take a look.
And I will tell you, the courage of all these Americans inspires me to lift up voices and advance freedom and justice, including congressional leaders like Cory Booker, Chris Van Hollen, Chris Murphy, Jasmine Crockett, all who, in different ways, have been speaking with moral clarity about this moment.
Democrat said democracy itself is on the line and we're facing an autocrat. Then you just go back to saying, well, never mind, we wrote a letter, we'll hold a hearing and be done with it. Then Holland, of course, traveled on that mission. Booker, we saw. People have said that you seem to be taking it up a notch. Are you guys still, though, in a minority within your party?
I mean, I would say so. I do believe that. I think that everyone is trying to be very responsive to their district, and I can't speak for any other district. I can tell you that my district wants me to speak out and be loud and be proud at all times. But you know what? We've got lots of great opportunities, and so I'm looking forward to some of the things that we're going to do on oversight as we continue to push back against this administration. Now that we know that they are doing things such as, you know, snatching people off the streets.
Yeah, let me just say, the Democrats, we definitely need to be getting more in their face. Like, I think that a big problem that we had prior was that we got a little too comfortable. We also were trying to be too respectful. The people who are kind of like destroying us just mentally, and people who are being mean to us and who are just bullies. Like, we're just being straight up nice to bullies and kind of respecting the feelings of the bullies. And the bullies were gaslighters, too. We can't let that happen. And Jasmine Crockett, I love Jasmine Crockett. I live for the Democrat from Texas. I live for that. H-Town. I don't know if she's from H-Town, but, I love that. I love seeing diversity. I always love her messaging. It's very much like we need to be up into people. Like, her Instagram is, I believe, Jasmine for Us for the U.S. Like I love that. Anybody, all of us who are concerned, all of us who are in the community who are suffering through all this. If we want to really make a change, we gotta be willing to have these uncomfortable and awkward conversations. And
in what I would consider to be concentration camps or prisons, and these are people that haven't been convicted of anything. And it's wrong. Listen, we have oversight over them. If we are in a contract with El Salvador, then it is us that have to decide as to whether or not they are violating human rights. And so we have to be given an opportunity to inspect. So even if James Comer says, no, Democrats, you can't go down there, well, we are elected members of the oversight committee, so we should be requiring that they turn over reports to us. Same thing with the FDA is they're going out and they're firing people, and we don't know what its impact is going to be as it relates to our food supply, and they don't want to tell us about it, whether or not our food is going to be safe. Then guess what? We need to make sure that we require that they turn those documents over to us. And if they don't, guess what? We need to show up at their doors, and we need to conduct a field hearing right there at FDA. Same thing as it relates to the planes that are falling out of the sky. We need some real transparency, and we need some honesty, and we need to make sure that the American people are just as enraged as we all should be, because this administration is truly trying to kill us, it feels like.
They really are. They want us dumbed down and dead. Like, straight up. Like, no
sometimes things just work until they don't. And so Donald Trump has made all kinds of claims, and he improved his vote total in November. So you have to look at how that worked. And yet, in this new town hall he did with Bill O'Reilly, you saw some of the bravado sort of fail in person. That's why town halls, whatever you think of them, like, you still have people there.
Yes.
They might be partisan, but you still get some reactions. Take a look at this moment.
Lee says, what's the biggest mistake you think you've made in the first 100 days?
That's the toughest question I can have, because I don't really believe I've made mistakes.
You made any mistakes?
Oh, this was a mess. He done said Harlem talking to the black guy. I think it was Harvard. Jesus Christ.
Interesting that you brought up Harvard, because when people think about Harvard, what they're basically talking about is they're asking, what do you say to those who view your actions as an attack on academic freedom rather than a defense of fairness? What do you say to that?
Well, I say this: we had riots in Harlem, in Harlem, and frankly, if you look at what's gone on, and people from Harlem went up and they protested, Stephen, and they protested very strongly against Harvard. They happened to be on my side. I got a very high black vote. You know that. Very, very high.
There was sort of an audible laughter, and maybe that's how you go with your own side, but it was still not acceptable. It was not on the level, even in that audience.
Nothing he says is really.
That he doesn't see that he's made mistakes. The implication being those people think he has made mistakes.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. People tried to talk about the mental acuity of Joe Biden. And as someone who was able to interact with him, I never questioned his mental acuity. But come on now. Come on, like, you are crashing the economy. We are talking about record crashing of the stock market. We are talking about, you just mentioned it, the amount of people that he has fired. We are talking about people complaining and saying there is nothing at the ports. We are talking about CEOs coming in and sitting down with you and saying that these shelves are going to be as bare as they were during the pandemic. Like, no, everything is a problem, not to mention Signalgate. And now you've got one of your, appointees stepping down because somebody was going to have to take the blame. Right. Now, I think it's the guy that needs, it's the guy that says he wants to have his makeup room that needs to go somewhere, because at least Mike Walls has some kind of experience within government. Yeah. Unlike Pete Hegseth, but honestly, get rid of the entire cabinet. We need to start over, because everything is messed up from their HHS secretary. I know you probably trying to move on to something else, but I'm just saying, I could go on for days.
We have to fit in a break, but start over. 100 days, start over. We got that message, Congresswoman.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. We'll be right back.
What I was about to say about the Constitution is they ain't following it. I don't know why we have it. If the rich white Republican is allowed to just and he's still there. He's still there. And we still got people in concentration camps. We still got the economy going downhill straight. I got a whole lot of prejudice, a whole lot of lack of legislation to protect people. They done tried to take Harriet Tubman's picture off something, but to take the... But they fixed it. Yeah, it's just a whole mess. Everybody's retirement's going out the window. A whole lot of bad stuff. It's not funny. A lot of people are going to suffer. A lot of people are going to die, and people have died. Not to mention the injustices done in the Ukraine that were definitely enabled by this administration. A lot of attacks, after the ceasefire. Putin said, F that. Trump's a puppet. He treated that man and henceforth this country as his own little plaything. I'm tired of it. He's just going to destroy the world. Ukraine done held its ground. Damn right he's suffering some mental health decline. And like I said, this month is mental health awareness. So I'm not trying to bash mental health or anything, but I think that there is definitely a fair angle that somebody can be coming at that from. And that is that Joe Biden, a big reason as to why he was told to, drop out was because of his mental health. And people kind of went wild with that too. They were making fun of him. He had fell down a few times. People were making fun of it. I don't know what was going on with that. Trump is forgetful, maniacal, and a lot of the times he just be saying stuff. Like
when you ran out the healthy arms, you ran out of really healthy. They had great arms, but they ran out. It's called sports. It's called baseball in particular, and pitchers, I guess you could say, in really particular.
Corruption is corruption. I mean, I would like to say that he's too crazy to know what he's doing at this point, and that what dictator who's not in their right mind is able to be that successful. But at the same time, he's got a lot of enablers and a lot of advisors who are instructing him, including Putin. They just go stop each other in Mar-a-Lago. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.